Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it's time for the Q&A. So let's go ahead and get this started. All right, first question. How do I get to where you are as a coach? My goal is to be a full-time coach. That's a tough question to answer because I've gone a different route than a lot of people, and some of this might sound discouraging to you, but it's taken me decades to accumulate the knowledge that I have. Right? So let's talk about knowledge, and then if you're going to talk about income, uh, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. If you do not build a massive online outreach somehow, you will never make the money I make coaching. It's just not going to happen. I know quite a few very successful strength coaches who have degrees. They have their CSCS. They have decent numbers themselves, decent number of clients who earn 50% what I do. They earn 50% of what I do, literally. So context, you're going to have to build an outreach. Okay, number one, you're going to have to build an outreach if you want to be where I am. Number two, you're going to need years of experience. My question would be, how much do you know about training? How many people have you trained? I coached for free for years, by the way. People were not aware of that. I always had a number of clients I coached for free. Actually, I think I've got a video should come out at some point in the rotation on that. I didn't always charge money to coach. I got experience coaching people for free for years. I got multiple people to 500-pound deadlifts, or I'm sorry, 500-pound squats, who I never charged a penny. It was learning experience. So here's what I'm going to say. You need to get experience. Start coaching people for free. Like, you're not going to come in and be a full-time coach. It is not going to happen. You're going to have another career for years. And you're going to need to accumulate a base of knowledge. Because if you've only been coaching for 6 months and have never coached anyone, it's actually a scam for you to charge people money. You are actually stealing money from people, basically. You're not a coach. You need practice training and coaching people. Get a bunch of noobs. Get a bunch of noobs and start coaching them. Start coaching 5, 6, 10 people for free. Push them all the way through their noob gains. Do this for a couple years as a side thing. Then you're ready to maybe start coaching. You're ready to start coaching. But you're going to have to build a business. You're going to have to build an outreach. And most importantly, you're going to have to build a knowledge base. And you're going to have to keep in mind, not everyone has the mindset to coach. Not everyone can do it. You got to have a skilled eye. You have to have a degree of patience. You're going to have to be patient. Oh my God. Yeah, the patience is going to be critical because you're going to want to strangle some of your athletes. Patience, trained eye, knowledge. And you're going to have experience. All right, next question. I'm going to a new gym and the bench height is noticeably lower than any other I've seen before. Will this make the bench press harder? I can't tell if it's me or the bench. It's about 12 inches. Yeah, that matters. What? A 12-inch standard bench is 18. Yeah, you're on a lower bench. You're gonna have to either learn to get comfortable with it, or you're going to have to go to a different gym. You know, I would look at that and say, have you considered talking to them? Okay. Have you considered talking to the gym owners and saying, hey, this is a completely bizarre non-standard bench. Can we get a regular bench? That seems weird. Your other thing, well, they probably have flat benches in the dumbbell area, right? Grab one of those and take it over to the power rack and bench. I have trained at serious gyms that had nothing but power racks. A row of power racks, and they didn't have any benches like that. You pulled the ones from the dumbbell section over and you benched there. And it was a strength-based gym, right? There were people who were very serious power lifters who trained there, quite a few. Drag that over to the rack and bench that way. That's your other options. And if you kind of go, well, that none of that's there, I'm like, well, you need to change your situation, because it is going to be difficult to learn to bench correctly on that. You're going to struggle to get tight correctly and everything else. And if you don't have any other choices in the meantime, I'm going to recommend that you learn to just make it work. You're going to never get properly tight in the way that you're going to on another bench. So I guess just do the best you can to make it work in the meantime. Do the best that you can. But you need to start looking at how are you going to rectify this situation, either talking to the ownership, moving other stuff around in the gym, or changing gyms or building a home gym. They're probably your options. All right, next question. How much of a difference is there between your deadlift and 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, etc. deficit? My pull from the floor a few months ago was 600, but my rep work on a 3 inch deficit is nowhere near it was back then. Well, that's like asking how long is a piece of string. You're asking what's the difference between mine, or are you asking what's the difference between my client Louie, my client Charles, my client Justin, or you? Because I'm going to have 4 different answers. You just 4 different human beings. You said mine, so this is probably not the answer you're looking for. I don't lose anything on a 1 inch deficit. I don't lose anything. If anything, I might be 5 pounds stronger on a 1 inch deficit. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. Every inch beyond that, I lose about 20 pounds. So if my current max is about 600, I'll probably pull about 600 on a 1 inch deficit, about 580 on a 2 inch, about 560 on a 3 inch, so on and so forth. Me personally. I start losing strength fast off of blocks. So for me, it's the other direction. A small deficit, I don't lose anything. Blocks, those are harder. Block pulls are a little harder for me. 2 inch blocks on a conventional, I would probably lose quite a bit of strength. I probably lose 40 or 50 pounds by pulling off of a 2 inch block. Me personally. You might be stronger. You might be stronger. So here's what I'm going to say. You're asking what the difference is, and I think what you mean is what should it be? Well, there is no answer to what it should be. The answer to what it is you're going to have to test it and find out. Go test it. That's all you can do. Like if you're legitimately curious, go test it. But you're talking about a few months ago, your deadlift was 600. Now you're doing rep work on a 3 inch deficit. Well, my question would be, why are you doing that? Is there a reason you're doing that and you're not testing any of your maxes, or you're not pulling off the floor for comparison? Make sure you've got a good reason for doing that, and it's not just because, especially if it's confusing you now regarding the weights you should be using. You should probably have an idea of at least a training max off that 3 inch deficit if you're going to do rep work on it. Go ramp up and test a training max. Be the first thing you need to do. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time in part 2.